So once we create independent requirement in the system and we run the MRP, outcome of MRP run is nothing but purchase requisition for externally procured material, planned order for in-house produced material. This purchase requisition, yesterday we saw how to convert the purchase requisition to the purchase order. After converting the purchase requisition to the purchase order, then release the purchase order. Once the purchase order is released, that information will be passed to the vendor automatically through EDI. And against that purchase order, we receive the goods using the transaction code MIGO goods receipt against the purchase order with 101 movement type. This is procurement cycle. In general, in the real time, this will be taken care of by your team. Now, from production perspective, for the PP perspective, once we have a planned order, this planned order will be converted to the production order, from where there are multiple ways to convert the planned order to production order. Either you can convert it from MD04, or if you know the planned order number, you can use it CO40, or you can also create a production order. Of course, this is not a conversion, directly creating a manual production order using CO01. These are the couple of options by which you can create a production order. Can we use the same example yesterday what we used it, or you want me use the example which I have? I'm okay with anything. Yesterday we were using this material, and for this material we arranged what is that. If I go into the planned order, if I check the order report of this planned order, as of now for this planned order we are good. Meaning is we have sufficient quantity of raw materials, which is 1, 2, 3. 3 raw materials are required, and these are the quantities of raw material. This is my finished product for which there is a planned order as of now. Okay, the next step is this planned order, we need to convert it to the production order. How to convert the planned order to the production order? There are multiple ways. As I mentioned, the first thing is from MD04, you can convert the planned order to production order. This is the planned order. This is the finished material. For this finished material, the system has created as an outcome of MRP run. System has created the planned order. And this planned order, how can I convert it to the production order? If you right click onto this lens icon, then you will find multiple options are there. In this, the first option is convert planned order to production order. You are able to see this one? Yes. Okay. If I'll click onto this planned order information will get converted into the production order. Take a look of it. Order has a missing part, no problem. You see this? System is, during the creation itself, system is checking whether do you have a sufficient component of sufficient component quantities or not, and it is showing as a missing parts. We'll see why there is a missing parts event too. Okay, this is my finished material, and this is a production order creation screen, and this screen is about, and what is sort of information that we are getting from here? What is the material to be produced, how much quantity to be produced, when to be produced, and also it contains an additional information. What is that? Which components are required in order to produce this material? These are nothing but your BOM components. You see this? In order to produce this finished material, I need these components of this quantity, and they are going to be procured, or they are going to be issued from this plant and this particular storage location. These are the list of components required to produce this header material. Of course, the base for this one, from where this is able to pick it up, from the master data which we maintained in the BOM. Okay, this is about the components. What about the sequence of operations? You see this, which are the sequence of operations, how many missions we need to pass through. This is nothing but your routing. So your routing information is get copied into the production order. Your BOM information is got copied into the production order. And these are all connected through production version, which is nothing but this is the master data. You see this is the version that has been selected. And the routing is copied from this routing group number, group counter, and the BOM is copied from this number. So whatever the master data that we maintained so far, that got copied into your production order. That is why we started with, in the beginning, the master data setup, where we maintained the complete master data. Now this is getting used, or the planned order make use of, with the help of this master data, your planned order information has been copied. And once the planned order is created, now we are converting the planned order to the production order. This is still in the planning stage, or your PPC guy is looking into this order. Hey, system has generated a planned order, and this is the planned order details. Now we converted the planned order to production order. What sort of another information or additional information that we have? Each production order is identified by a unique number. As of now, we didn't saved this production order. That is why it is still with a generic number, percentage da 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 001. Once we save this production order, your production order will be saved with the unique number, and your product in the plan, now your planned order will be replaced by this production order. And each order is having a specific order type, and this order type has a lot of controls. We can see it in the background at the customization. What sort of a controls you can maintain in the order type dependent parameter. And this is in the plant 1710. So we are clear what are the information, what is the material to be produced, in which plant is to be produced, what is the order type, how much quantity, when to be produced, and which components are required for this, and which operations are required for this. All the information is completely available in the production order. Now let me save this production order. The moment you save this, the number of the production order will be assigned. Take a look of it. And also it is determining the cost. You see this order number 1000075 has been created. We are in MD04 screen, and the order has been created, production order. We converted the planned order to production order. If you get a refresh, then your planned order will be replaced by this production order number ending with 75. Take a look of it. Look at my screen. You see this? There is a production order. Where is it? This is the production order. As on 21st 8th, this has been planned. And this dates, don't worry about this. At this point of a time, we'll see that the dates once we go into the scheduling clearly. As of now, what we discussed here is how to convert the planned order to production order, and what sort of information is available there in the production order. This is your production order created, and the production order number is equal to unique number. There is no duplicate. You won't find one more production order with the same number. It is always unique. And also, if you want to have a bit more information, this production order was converted from the planned order. You can see this planned order information here. You see this is the planned order, and from this planned order, we were converted this planned order to production order. That sort of information, you can see it in the assignment tab. Also, you have goods receipt to production location. If you want to maintain the receiving storage location, yes, it is possible. And by default, if you want to get it copied, then in the material master in MRP2, you can maintain the storage location. Automatically, it will get copied. And here the dates, what are the start date, what are the scheduled dates, and of course, we will go into the details going forward. And this is the master data information. Master data is nothing but your production version. Production version is nothing but BOM unrouting. All the information has been copied. Which BOM, which date, which effective date. Entire information is there in your production order. And a long text, if you want to maintain any information, hey, you want to pass some message to this order related to the next operator. Yes, there is a possibility. Administration will give you who has been created, when it has been created, when, and is there any changes that is related to. And fast entry, these are all additional information which we use it in general for some other variant configuration and other purposes. Okay, let's move on. So primarily, the first step what we did is how to convert the planned order to production order. with the option MD04. Is it only option that we can convert the planned order to production order? No, there are multiple ways are there. And one more question. I have multiple planned orders. Do you want me always convert one by one? No. In the real time, people will use, there is a mass processing function called as COHV. Let's take a look of it. COHV, the transaction code. Once you go to the mass processing of production order, and in this, what is that you are going to? You are converting the mass processing with reference to the planned orders. So which planned orders? Planned orders related to this particular material in the plant 1710. I would like to see list of planned orders which are there in this particular plant. You see this for this particular, you see this 451, 452. There are two planned orders. One is 451, the other is 452. These are the two planned orders currently we have. And what is the activity that we would like to? Is it possible for me to convert these planned orders together in a single step, not only to multiple event to using the mass processing? There is a possibility you can go for mass processing settings, and what you want to do, convert the planned order to production order, convert the planned order, and I would like to adopt this function. So what I'm trying to do, we are using a second option to convert the planned order to production order, but this is not an individual conversion. This is multiple orders or mass processing. You are converting the planned order to production order. Let's take a look of it. Mass processing, execute. Yeah, mass processing executed, 4 logs are there. Okay, that's good. So the moment mass processing is executed, then all these planned orders will be get converted into the production order. Come to our MD04. If I refresh it, these two planned orders, 451 and 452, now will be replaced with a production order. You see this, there is a planned order, PLD planned order, PRD production order. This is also a planned order. Now, if I refresh it, these two will be converted. You see this, now all the planned orders were converted to the production order. 75 is the first production order, 76 is the second production order, third one is the 77. So all the planned orders we were able to convert it to the production order using mass processing, and the transaction code for mass processing is equal to COHV. This is the transaction code where we are using it. And the same step I explained here, COHV, CO40 also I will explain. CO40, one more production order. Let me. Okay. If I go to our, I'll create one more. Okay. I want to have one more planned order, and that planned order I would like to convert using COHV transaction. I'm going to the independent requirement. I'll create independent requirement, additional independent requirement in the month of, even I can create it here. My requirements are increased, say 150, because anyhow I already created a production order. Okay. Now I changed my requirement. Instead of 100 in the month of July, I made it 150. That is why there is a shortage of 50. If I run the MRP, let's run the MRP for this, then the system should create for that 50 shortage as an additional planned order. You see this, there is a planned order and purchase requisitions are also created. If I go and check it up, is there any planned order for me for 50 quantity? Take a look of it. There is a planned order for a 50 quantity on 30th 9. Okay. Why we came here? The purpose of this one is how to convert the planned order to production order. What is the other option available? CO40 is the transaction code. If I go to CO40, this is my planned order. 450 is my planned, sorry, 450, not 500 is the planned order. This is the planned order. I want to convert this planned order to production order. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. What is the transaction code? CO40. But we are creating a production order by using an option converting the planned order to production order and the order type this. The disadvantage of this one is again you need to enter, you need to copy all these things. The simplicity is you can go to here and you can convert it here. This is a single step. You are there in MD04, convert the planned order to production order, just one click. But why I'm showing here is there is another way. What is that? Using CO40 also you can convert the planned order to production order. Take a look of it. You see this, there is order for 50 quantity on this particular dates and time, and these are the complete details again. This is again one more option to convert to the planned order to production order. Now we are converting this planned order to the production order using a function called as CO40 or a transaction called as CO40. Save this production order. Now production order 78 has been created. Take a look of it. If I refresh it, your planned order will be replaced with a new production order 78. Yes. So you have 4 production order 75, 76, 77, 76, 78, one for 50, 100, 200, 300. That's good. And now we know or we understood how to convert the planned order to production order using MD04, using CO40. One more, there is option called as CO01 that is called as a manual conversion. Meaning of manual conversion is you can create a production order using a transaction code without referring to any planned order. I don't have any planned order. Is it possible for me to create a production order? Yes, it is possible using CO01. This is called as a manual production order creation. Generally not recommended because let the system will take care of the creation of the planned order and just convert to the planned order. But always do we need to wait to the planned order, or is if I have only planned order then only I can create? No, there is multiple ways of that. One of that way is, another way is creation of a production order using CO01, which is equal to manual creation of the production order. Now, in the CO01, obviously you need to enter which material you want to create a production order, in which plant you want to create a production order. Order type, generally system will pick it up automatically based upon the production scheduling profile settings. In the production scheduling profile, we maintain what is the default order type to be used for this particular material. So what I'm entering here in the first screen, for which material I want to create a production order, in which plant I want to create a production order. The moment you enter, take a look of it. You see this, we are creating a production order for this particular material and how much quantity you want to prepare. And say, for example, 25 quantity. On which date you want to create, for example, current date. So system is prompting you which parameters, how much quantity to be produced, on which date you need to produce it. I'm taking the current date. The moment I select it as a current date, then today's date will be taken as a start date of the order. Take a look of it. 30th 7, today's start date, and this is the end date. This is the basic start date, scheduled start date and all. Okay, we'll go to that bit later. First of all, primarily, this is how you can create a production order using a transaction code CO01, manual creation of the production order. We don't have any reference of the planned order here. You see this, there is no planned order reference. Simply, we are creating it manually, and of course, for this respective quantity, system will also pick it up the component quantities. These are the list of components required to produce 25 quantity. And this is the operation. Of course, this will get copied from. If you look at the component quantities, always system calculate from the BOM based upon the component quantity there you maintained for one quantity. This is the list of components for this much of quantity. What is the proportionately system will calculate to produce the header material quantity. Okay. So if I save this, then the system will allocate the number. You see this, there is one more production order created for 79, and you have, if you go on here and refresh it, you will see one more production order with 79, and the start date is 8th of August, and the quantity is 25 quantity. So these are the multiple ways by which you can convert the planned order to production order, or you can create a production order manually using CO01. And it contains a lot of information. What sort of information is there in the production order? Which material is to be produced and how much quantity to be produced, on what date is to be produced, which components are required in order to produce this, which operations are to be followed for this. Everything, whatever we studied so far, the master data, everything is embedded into this production order. Now, it is good to go. You have been planned as a planner, and now you can pass this information to a production team. Hey, my dear production team, you start the production. But before starting, you need to take a print of this one and you will give the physical copy. Generally, the production order sheets will be printed at the end of the evening for the tomorrow's production. For tomorrow production, that is on 31st of July, they will print all the production order today and they will give the bunch of printed sheets to the shop floor team. Hey, you need to produce it tomorrow, this orders. Now, this order is having a specific status. Currently, this order is in the created status and it is precasted and material availability not checked and settlement rule created. Material availability meaning is whether do you have the sufficient component quantities or not for this particular order. That means the system will check which are the components required, what is the stock of each of these components, do I have the sufficient stock available in the store or not. That is decided by material availability. Of course, material availability, there are two ways of checking it. One is at order creation level, the other is order release level. But always keep it in mind, during the release of the production order, please make sure that your order is having sufficient component quantities. Otherwise, once you pass this information to the shop floor team who are there in the production area to produce it, if they don't find or they don't have the sufficient component quantities, then it will give a problem. Okay. Problem meaning is, hey, you have given the order, but we don't have the components in the store. How can we produce it? That is the ambiguity. So as a planner, you need to make sure before releasing in the sense from production planning, you are passing it to the execution team, start to the production. That is what is known as of now, till it is with the PPC team, planning team, still not been given to the production team for execution purposes. Okay. So the next step is we need to release the production order.